these are 20 fun facts about Noddy. Number 1. Noddy is the 105th brawler and the 14th legendary brawler to appear in Brawl Stars. This brawler is an assassin type, and even though everyone says otherwise, this brawler deserves to be legendary. Because it combines several interesting mechanics that we've rarely seen in the game, like alternating different basic attacks, just like Kenji does. When charging his basic attacks, he can jump over walls, gaining abilities regular basic attacks lack. That's something we hadn't seen before with any other brawler, since most brawlers usually have regular basic attacks. And these don't usually change for any reason, they just do the same thing. Always. Maybe they attack a little harder, but that's all. Plus, Noddy has the mechanic of catching fish, which makes his ultimate deal more damage depending on how many fish he caught. Besides being bigger, which is also something we hadn't seen in other brawlers. So yes, this brawler definitely has enough qualities to be a legendary brawler. Number 2, taking into account Noddy's basic attack, this brawler is a brawler that only has a single basic attack. Yes, even though it has quite a few ways to attack, this brawler only has a single basic attack and it has a cooldown between attacks. So this one has a mechanic very similar to Amber, Hank, Raccoon, Super, and Angelo. So it would be the 5th brawler that only has a single basic attack. But this basic attack can be held down. If you're wondering, how long does it take for Noddy's basic attack to fully charge? It's about 2 seconds. Which, let me tell you, is enough time for you to go and subscribe to the channel. I'm just saying. Number 4. A little pro tip about Noddy's gameplay is that you can tell if the enemy Noddy has their basic attack fully charged. Well, his fishing rod will start to glow with a yellow color. This is one of those little details that brawlers sometimes have, where they have some mechanic related to charging or timing. Number 5. If we take a closer look at Noddy's gameplay, this is one of the few brawlers that have a death effect on their base skin. If someone dies at Noddy's hands, Noddy will release a fish. Although, of course, this effect also happens when you attack brawlers. So we could say that to a certain extent, this is also an effect of his basic attack. Number 6. His stats at max are 7,400 health points, 2,200 damage points with his basic attack, 1,400 damage points with his basic attack in his second form, and a maximum of 3,500 damage points with his ultimate. You already know this doesn't take into account gadgets, star powers, gears, hypercharges, or any balance changes that might come in the future, right? Number 7. The name Noddy comes from the Japanese word nori, which would mean something like edible seaweed. Noddy, the name means that this is mostly used to make sushi or some other Japanese dishes. This fits quite well with the brawler thing, since considering that Kenji and Kaze are his parents and they run a sushi restaurant. That's why they gave Noddy this name. Although, well, it's pretty weird. It's like if I had a taco shop and named my daughter Tortilla. I mean, it wouldn't make much sense in real life. Number 8. If we take a closer look at Noddy's ultimate, he pulls out a huge fish, and believe it or not, this fish is his pet. We know this because it's mentioned in his emotes and in some of his voice lines. And interestingly, it has a name because in the voice lines and emotes, we can see that it's called Prat, which is a reference, since in English, Prat means anchovy, which is a type of fish. So now Prat is another one of those pets that brawlers have. Number 9. Something we know about this brawler's lore is that Noddy is the first brawler born in Star Park. That's right, Noddy is the child of 2 other brawlers, Kaze and Kenji. So thanks to this, we can rule out that several other characters were born in Star Park. Although, well, this also tells us that the brawlers, don't waste any time. Or, well, and that some brawlers don't have television, for those who know what I mean. Number 10. The trio of Noddy, Kenji, and Kaze has become the most expensive trio to obtain in the whole game. So if you wanted to get this trio, it would cost you about 13,100 credits or roughly 2,397 gems. If you wanted todos estos brawlers. If you wanted to buy them in early access, considering that if you wanted to buy this with real money, it would be over $100 to get. Friend number 11. Another interesting fact about Noddy's trio is that this is the second trio in the whole game where the brawlers belong to the same brawler class. Well, Noddy, Kenji, and Kaze are all assassins. The other trio where this happens is Lou, Mr. P, and Gale. No. Number 12. If we take a closer look at Noddy's design, the fishing rod that Noddy attacks with has this curious toy fish, which is a small reference to fishing toys. They're quite popular among children. Yes, these are usually from Chinese or Asian brands to some extent, which is quite interesting considering the origin of this brawler and his Asian heritage. Number 13. Another pretty interesting detail about Noddy is that if you look at his outfit, you can notice that it actually has the shape of a giant fish. It's just that we're seeing it upside down. A detail that maybe many people overlooked, and that is a really good detail for this brawler, which has to do with the lore number 14. And of course, if we look more closely at Noddy's design, it has quite a few references to his parents. To begin with, the pacifier that Noddy has is a reference to the mask that Kaze has in his ninja form on his outfit. Noddy has this circle, which Kaze also has on her geisha outfit, and Kenji has it on his kimono. And if we look closely, Noddy also has these bandages on his arms, which Kenji also has. Interestingly, if we look at everyone's design, they all have sandals because they're Japanese and, well, in typical Japanese clothing, right? Number 15. If we look closely, we can try to see whether Noddy resembles his mom or dad more. In terms of gameplay, Noddy is much more similar to Kenji since he has a basic attack that covers a 180-degree area just like Kenji. Also, this brawler jumps with his super, deals damage, and becomes invincible for a few seconds. Something that also happens with Kenji, which makes it clear that Kenji seems to have been his main inspiration. Although there could also be a big theory here. And this could mean Noddy might get a hypercharge or some other buff in the future. Because in this one, they're inspired by abilities that Kaze has, since Kaze's abilities aren't reflected in Noddy. But this is mostly just theory number 16. He is the first brawler of 2026 to be released and get a new skin in the same update. It had been quite a while since that had happened. In this update, Noddy received his 29 gem nano Noddy skin number 17. We might think that in a future update, Noddy could already have a confirmed skin, since this could be a skin based on Fruit Ninja. Well, both Kazenodi and Kenji already have this skin, and it wouldn't be crazy to think that the skin will arrive in the game soon and become the skin. Are you excited? By reaching 750 trophies with the brawler, Noddy will probably have problems with his teeth, or most likely he already does. Number 18, and that's because using a pacifier or Sada can cause dental problems, especially when it's used past age 2 or 3, since this can cause quite a few problems like open bite, palate deformation, and cross bite. So it's a good question. Why? Noddy still uses a pacifier, since this brawler is supposed to be around 5 years old according to the lore. Number 19. Something funny about Noddy's lore is wondering if he was alive when the events of Kenji and Kazi's manga happened. Yes, we know that this was actually canon to a certain extent in the Brawl Stars universe. And we already know that Noddy is about 5 years old and nowadays he can already fight and all that. But look, when Noddy's mother was kidnapped, Noddy was doing just fine somewhere else and nothing happened. But in the manga, they mentioned that Kaze was kidnapped for about a year. It's not like your mom leaves for a year and you don't even notice. But if Noddy was conceived after this, then canonically about 6 years have passed, since Noddy is 5 years old. Plus, the 9 months of pregnancy. Katana event happened a long time ago. I know measuring this is ridiculous, come on. It's just a damn cartoon. But, well, the Brawl Stars chronology today, yeah. It went to hell with this number 20. But anyway, you'll write fact number 20 in the comments. I'm a bit lazy already. If you really liked the video, well, drop a big like. Also, remember to subscribe, give the video a like, and of course, check out the rest. 20 more facts about other brawlers in the game that you might not have known. A lot of these, and of course, why not check out this video that YouTube recommends to you? You might love it too. See you!